Topic for today is all about the Western classical arts. First, in the prehistoric era. In the prehistoric era, it includes all the human existence before the emergence of the writing, where their work of art is interest not only to the art historians but also to archaeologists and anthropologists, where their art is also about the fossils of the early human life and culture. There are three periods of prehistoric art. First is the Paleolithic era or the Old Stone Age. Next is the Mesolithic era, the Middle Stone Age, and the Neolithic era is the New Stone Age. The paintings from the prehistoric era were found inside the caves, and it is also their way of communicating with each other. It may also be religious or ceremonial. Their drawings of animals were usually correct in their proportion, like this painting. This is the cave of Lascaux, where the dominant features is all about the large animals in the native region. And it was discovered on the 12th of September 1940. The paintings from ancient Egypt. The paintings from ancient Egypt is emphasizing the importance of the life after death and the preservation of the knowledge from the past. With this in mind, the themes include the journey to the underworld by the presentation of the deceased to the gods of the underworld by their protective, and also the purpose of these paintings to make the deceased person's afterlife place pleasant. Mostly, the paintings were highly styled and they have symbolic and show profile view from the animals or the people. But mostly, they use only dominant colors like red, black, blue, gold, and green, which stands for strong sunlight without fading. Here is an example of the painting. This painting is from the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun in the 1362 AD to 1253 BC. This painting shows on the wall, it is placed on the walls, and it's all about the events of the life of the king while he's still on earth, and the scenes he expects to encounter in the underworld after his death. As you can see in the picture, meron dito, ito yung place kung saan nandito yung king, and yung mga nasa wall, it is the events of the life of the king, nung buhay pa yung king. Next, the paintings from classical Greek era. The paintings here are the subjects were the battle scenes, mythological figures, and everyday scenes. Mostly, makikita siya sa vases, panels, tombs, and it depicts or it portrays the natural figures with dynamic composition. There are two common or the most common method in the Greek painting. First is the fresco. The fresco is a water-based painting that can usually found in the wall surfaces. Next is the encaustic. It is developed by the Greek shipbuilders that can be used by they use the hot wax to fill the cracks of the ship. And they also added the use of the paint. Here is an example of a jar painting. It is the Judgment of Paris. As you can see, it is placed in the jar, and there are only limited colors in the painting. There are several styles in vase painting. First is the Kerch Style, also referred to as Kerch vases. Ito po yung mga Kerch vases. They are red, and named. They are red and the name are found in the pots. This is like a wine container. The wine container is also called as pea-like. Next is delicanis. It is hindi siya kagaya ng common na vase because it is a low bowl with the horizontal handles. Next is the leves gamicos. This leves gamicos is with high handles. As you can see in the picture, mataas yung kanyang handles. And the lid o yung takip is used to carry bridal bath. Next style is the crater. This is like a bowl and kagaya siya ng yung pinaglalagyan ng wine and water. Pero mas malaki siya because it is like a vase. So there are also paintings. So you can see it is the gods and goddesses in their era. Next is the panel painting. The panel painting can be either small, single-pieced, or several or joined together. But most of the panel paintings are no longer existing because of their organic composition. The paintings in the panel are made of wood. As you can see in the picture, it is the pizza panel. It is the earliest known panel painting. Next type of painting is the tomb or wall painting. It is popular in the classical period where the method that is used is the fresco or in either tempera, the water-based, or encaustic. But it has sharp, flatly outlined painting, and because it uses water-based, the materials are very few samples survive. So, unti lang survive because it is a water-based painting. Here example, the tomb of the diver. Next paintings we go talk about is the paintings from the Roman era. In the Roman era, fresco technique was highly used in brightly colored backgrounds, wherein the division of the wall into multiple rectangular areas and there are other perspectives in the technique. Most of the painting is copied or imitated from the Hellenic Greek paintings. This is an example of the art technique. It is an art technique where they use realistic image to create the optical illusion that depicted objects that exist in 3 dimensions. As you can see, there are lots of example of a optical illusion. Meron mga example na parang gumagalaw. Kaya nga po tinawag siyang optical illusion kasi hindi siya gumagalaw pero pag tinignan natin is parang gumagalaw. But the Roman paintings usually uses their everyday life, mythological subjects, portraits, and landscapes. It has developed on the landscape painting where it is innovated from the Roman painting from Greek painting. Another style is the mosaic. It is a process where an image is created using an assemblage of small pieces of colored glass, stones, or other materials. Pwede din siyang gumamit ng papel for making this process. Example is the head of Alexander. This mosaic depicts the battle between Alexander the Great and Darius III of Persia. Next painting is the fresco from the Villa of Mystery. This is a fresco painting that believes the ceremonial rites in the marriage and the initiation of the women. Next are the Byzantine paintings. In the 11th century, the Greek and Oriental style seems to blend and they make these large form in the churches. Example is the Theodora. Theodora was an Asian queen with dark eyes and hair with fierce expression. As you can see in the picture, Meron siyang iba't ibang colors and it is not no light colors used. Mostly are dark. And as what I have said, her facial expression is fierce. Next, here is another painting including Theodora. Next paintings are in the Romantic paintings. In Romantic paintings, they are largely placed in the walls of the churches. Here is an example. Christ in Majesty. This painting is from the Church of Saint Clement in Spain. You can see in the picture, it is mostly found in the altar. Nasa may taas siya ng altar. Makikita niyo siya dun sa may kisame, simula sa may kisame. Next paintings is from the Gothic era. In the Gothic era, paintings have been confined in the illumination, wherein the manuscripts or the paintings can be found also in the walls of the churches. Here's an example. The Lady and the Unicorn Tapestry. This subject depicts the popular legends and the love story patterns. It also influences the other people in their love story. Next is the rose window. Mostly, makikita siya, as always, sa mga Catholic churches. They have their wall painted and the glass windows have transformed into the stone interiors with using the colors that have used in here in these paintings are warm and glowing color, where it is instructed by the Christians in their faith. Here are also another example of rose window paintings. Take a look at this because gagawin niyo yan. Next painting is the Shepherd David. This painting shows some realistic details and show naturalism. Thank you for listening.